So this is how I hit $50,000 in 1 month using audience alignment, how you can copy me, and how soon we'll be hitting six figures. It's going to be kind of similar to what the other videos, except it's going to get better and better and better as we progress, more sauce, so stay till the end. But anyways, as you know, the first step is identifying your traffic, because this is the most important thing. People will literally pay money for it. It's called ads. People pay money for views. So that means let's look at the traffic sources. So for this client, NDA, he did not want me to show him his face on the YouTube, so it's all cool. So yeah, essentially he had Instagram around 100, 200K followers, but it's complete brain rot. You know, there's Skibidi Toilet, there's a how-to. He was full Skibidi Toilet. So it's more growth content. You know, he's growing a lot. It's not the right type of followers, but it's okay. He got like 10 to 20K story views, so we can easily implement a close friends bot, which will 2 to 3x the story views. And from there, just use hook, story, offer. So we didn't really get the close friends bot at the beginning, but now we're looking into getting one. And this is the story framework I always use: hook, story, offer, hook, story, proof as well with an offer. Russell Brunson preaches it. It's the tried true. Essentially, used to like a big announcement because this causes people to stay longer. I've been working on XYZ behind the scenes. It's helped this guy, and this guy, and it acts social proof principle. And from there, it used to a CTA. Now, this doesn't have to be 4 stories. It could be 2. It could be 6. But you get the point. It follows this general framework of a hook. The story is usually the longest part, peppered with some proof. And then you have your offer, your CTA, and then usually another one with some scarcity. Top of this, he had YouTube, which was better. It was somewhat vlogs and, you know, educational. So it was more nurture content. And then from there, we can just use, you know, links in the bio like mine, etc., to actually get traction. He also had a free Discord with 1 to 4K members roughly. So for there, we can just do announcements. And then low ticket, he had a low ticket. It was hovering around 10 to 18K. It's a big variable, but the churn was super high. So high. It was like 40-50% churn, crazy churn, super high. And that's kind of the traffic. You always need to identify this and then go into step number 2, which is market research. So for phase 2 market research, shout out to Russell Brunson, Traffic Secrets. This book is insane. But essentially what it had me do was just understand my target audience. So essentially, right, 2 main things in the Dream 100. You need to understand your dream customer. You need to obsess over them, understand everything about them, know them better than themselves. So that way you can market to them better, message to them, make better content, etc., etc. And then have a Dream 100, a comp list, where essentially all the people in your niche that attract your dream customer, you need to know them too, like the back of your hand. Follow all their stuff, look at all their funnels. That's exactly what I did. So the first step into this was spending 2 to 3 hours doing a deep dive on all the competitors, you know, going through all of their content, all their funnels, watching their videos, how do they CTA, how do they email their list, etc., etc. So that's why I did here, just showed a couple examples of actually going through their list, going through their content. One of them is doing a webinar. One of them has a VSL opt-in, a low ticket, etc., etc. So that was step 1, is going through my Dream 100, seeing what they're actually doing. Step number 2 was doing more market research inside of that low ticket community. These people are further down the funnel. They're going to be way more likely to give me the best market research. So what did I do? Well, I transcribed all the calls. I pulled up to the group calls, recorded them with my AI note taker, transcribed them so I understand the questions they're asking. Top of this, I looked into the questions that they're asking. I was DMing people, etc., etc. From there, I actually found this super cool tool called Poppy AI. Essentially, it's like a Miro board AI where you can connect things like the Fathoms, like the chats, like their YouTube videos, and then you can ask it questions with Claude, ChatGPT, etc., etc. You can upload things to it. So that's exactly what I did. Is I simply transcribed, the calls. I, looked at their questions and I transcribed their chats. I transcribed some of their YouTube videos, threw them in that, used the master messaging cheat sheet along with some other simple prompts, and would just ask it questions about the audience. And essentially from there, it's super good market research because then I can save all that stuff and then use Poppy later, which you're about to see how I used it later. Okay, that's the fundamentals. Now let's actually get into the saucy stuff that you guys want to see, which was step number 3. So after doing the market research, understanding, I decided first, let me scale the low ticket. Why not? Let's get some more members in there so we can enact step number 4. So essentially what we did was we first shut down all the links so nobody could join. And this enacted the scarcity principle like I used with Cut. Essentially, tons of people are freaking out that they can't join. So they're going to want to join. From there, we just had join the waitlist to get early access to blank, a picture, and then they would enter their contact information, and then we'd have some social proof right here. And from there, we got 70% open rate, a 900-person email list. And yeah, the only reason why we were scaling the low ticket here is because they did not want to do high ticket. If we would have done high ticket, easy 6 figures. But nevertheless, I can't control them. If they don't feel comfortable doing it, I'm not going to force them to do something. So yeah, from there, we would just send them this. This is how I actually got a super high open rate, is I would just send them to this. Then on top of that, I would also respond to them, make them respond back, what you're about to see here. So the welcome email did 3 things. Number 1, it hyped up our launch date. Number 2, it hyped up the free value that we're going to give them. And number 3, it got them to reply. From there, I could reply back. That would keep my domain health high and get them to start responding and be like, dang, this person's actually responding to me. So that's kind of what I did. And then I would just use Copy AI to once again help me actually write the emails, just using AI, because AI is so good. It can remember all their deepest desires, their pains. So that's what I use to write the stuff, marketing to them better. And yeah, so essentially here's one of the emails we wrote: yo name, date is coming up, blah, 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 blah. Just essentially making them like watch the free value that we were giving them, showing social proof, hyping up the day, and achieving our promise that we gave them. So this were just some of the stats from our email. Crazy stats, because we framed it the right way in the beginning. And we just sent out tons of these. Providing value, hyping up the day. We hyped it up for a couple weeks. And yeah, because essentially what we're doing here is we're just providing value on the list, getting them to really know, like, and trust, especially with this content over here, the Skibidi Toilet content. We really need to nurture these guys a lot. Some people were already super nurtured, but you get the point. And essentially what we're doing here is we're activating 6 psychological principles. There's obviously more, and I'm going super deep into this, but right now, here's the main 6. Essentially, the law of reciprocation, super simple. Essentially, whenever someone gives to you, you want to give back to them. Number 2 is an authority. This is a leader. This is like a teacher, police officer, etc. They're an authority. This guy becomes an authority in his space because he's providing value. So whenever he provides value, he shows his authority, shows he knows what he's talking about, and it just goes up. Number 3, it gets them to know, like, and trust you. So the more, it's called the 7-11 rule, right? It's 7-11. Essentially, if you watch 7 hours of content and you get touched 11 different times, you're going to be, statistically speaking, from Google, way more likely to buy, just because it's familiar. It's the familiarity bias, which is you keep on seeing this person pop up and you're going to want to know them. You're going to like them. And eventually people do business with people that they like, not that they dislike. So yeah, from there we added in social proof, because monkey see, monkey do, right? If I see that you're doing something, or if I see that these people are getting results, I know I can do it too. Commitment and consistency. So we like to stay consistent and consistent by nature. So after we already do something, we don't want to lie to ourselves. We don't want to say this. We don't want to say that. So they already signed up to our news list. The next step would be to join our private community. Essentially, they're staying consistent with themselves, because people don't like to be inconsistent. Then urgency and scarcity, 2 super triggers, because it's psychologically just from back in the day when food was scarce, etc., or whatever. People like scarce things. People want what they can't have. So for here, we'll draw this. People want what they can't have. So yeah, that's pretty much the 6. There's obviously more. I can go into the depth and be like, yo, there's actually 3 in this one, 2 in this one, but you guys get the main gist. So we provided value on the list, and then and from there we would just sell to that list. So, whatever, hype it up, we get good amount of people, get good open rates, good click-through rate, etc., etc. And from there, right, essentially we just provide value to people, and then later they would join. So it really did work. I mean, good people joined from this, but this is not where we made most of our money. And oh yeah, I forgot the funnel. The funnel was very simple. We just sent them to a VSL page where then they would just join the school. No one-time click purchases yet, etc., because I had a better plan in mind, which was building out a high-ticket offer. Now we got way more people inside of our thing, way more people, like, doubling the revenue. So from there, we decided to build out the offer. One-on-one, high ticket is the way to make the most money, because it's like, you gotta look at it. Which one's easier, right? Getting 200 people pay you $50, or 5 people to pay you $2,000. right? And which one are going to be better clients too? Obviously the 5. So that's what we did. And essentially to start, it was more access, which we didn't really need an AI for this one, but nevertheless, always use AI, especially whenever you upload it with stuff. Essentially, this was the offer. So it's 4K. They get 2 one-on-one calls a week, his personal number, lifetime access to the low ticket, and a guarantee where if they're not happy, we'll continue to work with them for free until they are. So essentially, we just do stuff like this, where the low ticket, we just be like, yo, got X spots left. And then from there, we just tell them everything inside, tell them the price. No funnels at all, just testing the offer, focus on getting these guys results. We weren't trying to maximize the cash flow right now. We're trying to get really good results so then we can later scale to 6 figures. So we made about 30K or so off that. And they'd hop on a call with the creator, easy close, 100%. They literally knew the price. We literally tell them. And this only worked because a paying prospect in motion will stay in motion as long as what we're doing is valuable, and the low ticket was very, very valuable. So they just wanted to join. They liked him a lot, and from there we get results for social proof, just like Breast Scales, who has pretty good results. And from there, you can easily go mass scale with it because these results go back to the psychological principles. It all goes to human psychology. At the end of the day, this is all what it is. It's human psychology, understanding how the brain works and how to get people to want to buy your stuff. So essentially, it's getting crazy results for those people that join the one-on-one, which, I mean, you should. If you have a competent person, you're getting all this access, all this help, you're going to get results. And the results are crazy so far. And we just need to film those case studies, and then we can go ahead and plan the scale to 6 figures. So this is exactly how we're going to scale to 6 figures, or how we plan to at least. And let's break it down. So the manpower needed. So at the start, it's super simple. Just a closer and a dialer. That's it. And then if it's super loaded, we're getting a shit ton of calls. Me or one of my friends will just close, triage, dial, do whatever. Not afraid to get my hands dirty. Whenever we're at mid 6 figures, we'll do a copywriter. And then maybe, a sales manager at 6 to 7 figures. But essentially, it all starts out with owning your traffic, which is what we did here. And then we'll throw them on a CRM, and we'll grab the numbers too. So we have name, email, phone number. Okay. From there, it'll be probably like a free training opt-in with something like this. So if you've been looking at the links lately, people have been dialing in what they call back-end ops. So, and I'm going to show you guys that today. So essentially, on every single YouTube video, there's going to be something like this, where it's essentially a source code that links back to the video. I was watching one of Williams Brown's video, and I saw he had this right here, so thought I'd screenshot it. So essentially what this means is that you can look per YouTube video and see exactly how much money one YouTube video made you, how many booked calls it got you, how much money it made you, what's your close rate on this video versus that video. And you can break it down to a science which videos are making you money, which reels are making you money, etc., etc. So from there, you can optimize your content to the max and essentially just make more money by, obviously using Poppy AI, using AI tools. Doesn't have to be Poppy. I'm just a Poppy Glazer. And essentially seeing, okay, these types of videos make me more money. Why is that? Who does it attract? Who is my best target audience? And what best videos make me the most money? I'll just make more of those. Super simple way to track everything, and essentially it's just done with different landing pages like you saw with the source code. Same landing page, you copy and paste it and have a different title on it, and then you have some high level automations in the back. So it's nothing complex. This is just made on Looker Studios for Google, and yeah. So then here's the actual funnel itself, right? To hit 6 figures and consistently make money, right, we just need a lot of traffic. So that's why the backend ops come in clutch, where we can consistently make the traffic that makes us money. So from here, we'll send them to an application. There'll be a training opt-in or a free Discord, something where we grab their information. So let's just say if they don't have an application, they fill it out but don't have an application, dial plus text, aka follow-up. If they go through the application, they fill it out, then they get added to the CRM. And if they're qualified, then we'll book them on a call. They'll go on a triage call, get warmed up, and get closed for $3K. And it's going to be a more sustainable than the one-on-one, more scalable, so it's not really bogging down a lot of his time. Okay, and this will be the offer roughly. It's a rough build out, not exactly sure yet, but something like $3K onboarding call, 3 weekly calls, private group chat, done for you and done with you elements, crazy guarantee. etc., etc. Claude Hopkins gave me some really good inspiration for crazy guarantees. Something like, we'll refund you money and buy you any program you want, or just some crazy ass guarantee. Obviously, speculations, but money back guarantees, work with you for free guarantees are not that crazy anymore. So I'm going to be pulling out some crazy guarantees soon. It might buy me, who knows. But if they're qualified but don't book, essentially we just follow up. Throw them in a follow-up sequence. If they show up to the call but don't show up, follow up. If they hop on a call but they don't close, then we follow up. And let's say if they're unqualified, right, they don't have enough money, we'll essentially just throw them in the unqualified sequence, which they'll get offered probably to the low ticket community or some free kind of no-brainer thing. This will account for roughly 25% of sales. Obviously, just depends. And then if they don't buy, dialed plus text, aka just following up. And yeah, Premier, it's super simple, super easy. It's easy 6 figures, and I'm going to show you why. It's essentially a pipe, right, where, you know, you can only do so much to conversions, okay? Realistically, you know, if you get it 2% to 3%, 50% increase, but if you can just double the traffic is the biggest constraint. So essentially at this point, we just have to test it out by just sending a shit ton of traffic down. Essentially what we'll do is we'll just start pumping out the YouTube videos, start using this backend ops to see which videos are making us the most amount of money. From there, upload more of those, and then start running, enough capital, obviously. You start running retargeting ads, where essentially we're hitting more of his audience and trying to get them to book a call with us, and that's how we'll scale to 6 figures a month. So it's really nothing complex. It's honestly super simple, and if you've been watching all these videos, they might seem a little similar. That's just because it's honestly super simple what you're actually doing here. It's just a lot of back-end weeds work to actually get this done. Like, this is a high-level overview of it. Obviously, you have to go in, build all this stuff out, and it's a lot of work, but obviously it's worth it. So, yeah, that's essentially how I hit 50K in 1 month, scaling low ticket, building out the offer, and then our plan to scale to 6 figures. So, hope this kind of helped, and if you're a creator, coach, or consultant, and you want to see how I can do this for you, you can book a call down below, first link in the description, and we'll talk, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.